This auto parts manufacturer on the outskirts of São Paulo, a third-generation family business, has been here since the 1970s. This year, they updated their factory floor with new machines to produce rear-view mirrors. The owner, who's also an official in Brazil's Auto Parts Industry Association, says the sector is ready to compete with European Union businesses should a trade agreement between Mercosur and the EU be reached.
Different sectors, different kind of industries, could be different point of views. Opinions, the auto parts industries is very strong. We have conditions to competitive with many different companies around the world.
Mercosur and the European Union have been trying to finalize and implement their trade agreement since 1999. It's a significant deal involving more than 700 million people and representing up to 20% of the world's GDP. However, the challenges to bringing it into effect are just as large.
Historically, there has been resistance from Mercosur's industrial sector to a trade agreement, fearing competition with European industries, but that seems to be diminishing. Brazil's National Industry Confederation, for example, has issued a joint statement with the Business Europe Association supporting the deal. The agricultural sector in the region is a more traditional supporter of the agreement, seeing it as an opportunity to improve access to European markets.
There will be gains for some sectors within the economies of both blocs, and then these gains, they complement each other when it comes to the two blocs' economies, namely here the agricultural sector, and then in Europe, especially the industrial sector.
However, there is also a strong opposition to agreement in some sectors, such as trade unions.
The coordinating body of trade unions of South America has been debating this issue for a long time, and our position remains one of opposition. There is no provision in the deal for a debate with the labor movement aimed at creating safeguards for workers' rights.
From the Brazilian government's perspective, there is resistance, voiced by President Lula da Silva, to a provision that would increase Europe's access to public procurement processes. And Europeans are pushing for more environmental safeguards, particularly those related to decarbonization and the impact of agricultural production on nature.
Queremos fazer algo que seja equilibrado.
We want to create something that is balanced, that is good for them so that it is also good for us. Let me give an example. The European Union does not consume certain pesticides. However, it manufactures them. So there is this contradiction. They manufacture them and then push them to places where, due to weak governance or lack of collective awareness, they end up being used.
Back in 2019, a deal was signed between Mercosur and Europe, but so far, neither side has managed to see it ratified, let alone implemented. The hope is that this new round of talks in Brasília will provide another push in that direction. Paulo Cabral, CGTN, São Caetano do Sul, Brazil.